Hi.
Wait. 2 seconds.
Wait, can I record it?
Sure, absolutely.
How do
Yeah,
you do
I
that?
should do that.
Or
I'll
let's
do
see,
it.
there we go.
Well, hello, ladies. This is Hannah Fitz from the Brand Atelier coming to you live today with an amazing interview. I know many of you have been waiting for this since 12:30 today, and we're so excited that finally the technology has come together and we are here with you. So today my guest is Ashlina Kaposta. And Ashlina is an interior designer, feng shui practitioner, and real estate agent. With a passion for all things home, her namesake blog, ashlinakaposta.com, is a destination for providing lifestyle tips, decorating advice, and success hacks. She is also all about bliss vibes. So she has a podcast named Bliss Vibes Only, and she shares her tips on elevating your everyday. And in addition, she is the author of Blissful Living book collection and Designing a Life and Home You Love. Welcome, Ashlina.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Wonderful. I'm so glad we can make this work. And ladies, if you have any comments, any questions, anything you want to ask, feel free to drop a comment below and also introduce yourself. We want to know where you're joining from. So that we can keep up with you on this live stream. So Ashlina, a lot of people are stuck at home now. More people than ever have found themselves working from home. And for many, it's not ideal because maybe they have kids and everyone's running around, and maybe they're feeling like, how do I create a space if I need to do those live conference calls? Because a lot of people are using live conferencing now. How do I create a space that's blissful, that's productive, and that I really want to stay in? Like, I'm not tempted to go out because I love the space so much.
Yes, oh, that's a great question. I do feel like everyone is having to deal with that. And you can see even me, I'm having to be in a quiet room because I too have a child at home and we have a full house here. So it is so important that you find a space in your home. But what do you do if you don't have like that beautiful office like you have to sit in and to really feel inspired to create? So I always tell people there's, decor is one thing. You don't have to go and overhaul your whole home to feel, luxurious and feel like you're in an inspirational space. And that's really about curating the way that you do your life. So you're going to want to have things like candles. You're going to want to have things like pretty pictures around you, always flowers. And I can really get into talking about the energy behind some of these things, like things that bring you a little bit more high vibes and high energy at home. But if you can have a beautiful coffee mug to have your coffee in the morning, if you have a beautiful robe that you wear when you're getting ready in the morning, little personal touches like that in your home go a really long way. So for me, sometimes I have a living room full of Legos, and it's not the most beautiful or high vibe thing. But when I've got my personal things like my coffee mug and my robe and my beautiful Louis Vuitton planner, just having little touches of your bliss around you, especially when you're working from home, is so, so important. Like, I love smelling gardenia. I love the smell of my candles around me. That's something that really brightens my day. Or even just flowers. And it can even be like the fake kind if you just need to see something really beautiful. But just, making sure that you curate little things around you is the most important thing for an immediate kind of like up level and shift for working.
Totally. And we're going to talk about accessories a little bit more because, again, as you mentioned, flowers and all those pieces, I want to get into that a little bit later because I know there's so many different things and rules behind some of those things that you can share with us. But okay, how do you select the best space in your house to place your home office to begin with? Because maybe your home was not configured for having an office space. How do you make that decision? And what are some of the things that maybe you want to look for when selecting
Sure.
an actual physical space?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of things that you want to keep in mind when you're working. And number one is going to be really good natural light. I feel like that's kind of the most obvious. You need to have that vitamin D, that beautiful bright light shining in. So you don't really want to work in a room where there's not a big window or a big element of nature and outside and just getting that fresh light. It brings in, if you think of the sunshine and the sun or just that light as a direct energetic hit inside of you, that fills you with like sunlight and energy, vitamin D, creativity, confidence, all of that is very, very, very important. So that's number one. Number two, when you're working, and this is where feng shui really comes into play, because you really have to be mindful and selective about the space that holds your energy while you work. You don't want to be depressed. You don't want to be uninspired when you're working. You want to bring your best self to work. So the best position for you to be sitting within your home, within the four walls, according to feng shui, is in the power position. When you're in the power position, your desk is not up against a wall. You're not sitting with your back to the door. So right now I am actually sitting with my back to the door. It's a no-no. It's not very good, but I'm having to get on this call because I have to plug into something. So I have to be here right now. But if you can keep that in mind, you never want your back to the door. When you have your back to the door and you're working that way, that represents and signifies opportunities potentially passing you by. When you can't see, like if you think of the door, the front door, as where energy enters and leaves, that's where opportunity comes in and out. You want to be able to always see that. You want to be able to have that visual connection with opportunities passing you by. In the same token, you don't want to sit with your face right directly in front of a window. You don't want your desk pushed up in front of a window, because a window is kind of like energy leaking through, where a window is where potential like thieves and robbers would come in. It's like the hidden energy. It's like the back door energy. And you don't want that in your business. You don't want that energy. You want the front door, the in your face, not hidden opportunities to come your way, right?
Yeah. Amazing.
So making sure it looks like, Hannah, you're really sitting in a perfect power position. Your back is against a wall. It's very supported. It just kind of gives you that, like you've got a wall behind you, that foundation, that support feeling. And in front of you is a lot of beautiful natural light. That's the ideal position for a lot of confidence, a lot of power, a lot of just good energy going into your work.
Amazing, because it's funny you say that, Ashlina, because I remember my desk used to be positioned a lot differently about 2 years ago, and I couldn't quite figure it out. Like, I just knew like something was sucking up my energy, and I couldn't figure it out. But even beyond that, when I was doing like lives and video, I didn't have enough light coming towards my face to be able to create that natural lighting. And with artificial light, it was still very difficult. I'm like, I feel really tied up in this position. So I decided then I looked around, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I mean, I have this huge panel door with a view of the ocean. Why is my back to the door and the ocean? Like, I should be looking out at the ocean every day. And so I decided to shift my desk around so that I can be in a position where I have this lighting through the door, the glass doors, and I can see the ocean. And I have, as you said, that support. And I started looking into a little bit of feng shui. And I remember we had a virtual call.
Yes.
Because Ashlina also does like virtual styling sessions as well. Yes. And so we had a virtual call, and you were giving some tips around, how do you create that backdrop, also for on camera. So I found this wall, and I was positioned in front of the door, and it felt like good energy flow. I don't feel so tired. I can spend 12 hours at my desk, and I really feel good.
Yes. I love that. But it's so true,
Amazing.
isn't it? And it creates such a beautiful backdrop for you. And I love that you
Yeah.
have Coco Chanel behind you. Like there's some, that's just really good,
Inspiration.
powerful inspiration. That's right. And you want that
Absolutely.
behind you. If you think of what's behind you, that's your support. That's what's holding you. So you want to think
Mm.
about those things.
I love it. I love it. And so, ladies, just remembering these little shifts, can make a big impact. It can make a big difference in how you're showing up in your business and the energy you're bringing. And so,
Absolutely.
Ashlina, you also, I mean, when I see some of your work and even your own office, like, you also had all of those Coco Chanel's
Yes.
pieces and
Yeah.
beautiful. One of Ashlina's signature is gold, black,
My
and
favorite.
using the golden black.
Yeah.
And as you know, I love golden black, so I fell in love with her style. But Ashlina, how do you create great style without sacrificing functionality? Because we want things to look good, we want things to always be in a place, but the reality is that you need that functional element, like you need things to work. So how do
Yeah.
you get that balance?
Well, that's really good question because I feel like it's very personal and it's very specific. It's hard to do. And this is why there are interior designers out there that you pay for them to come help you, because it is really hard to see what you personally are working with and how to shift that around. It does take an element of styling, but I want to touch a little bit on you saying black and gold.
Yeah.
And I think something for me is I put energy behind my work. So black and gold, I absolutely love. But what's interesting is black is actually a really good color for the career. It's a watercolor. It's based, it has the element and the energy of water around it, which is like flow, opportunity, more, success coming in, that kind of thing. And then gold is actually the color of success, but on the wealth side. So a lot of
Mhm.
abundance, a lot of wealth. So it's really a powerful dynamic color combination that I
Yeah.
like to use in my work. And so, but it also looks really good. So I
Yes.
feel like it does come down to a lot of times understanding elements behind design, understanding principles, understanding, even color theory, and then finding what looks good to you. So for me, black and gold looks great to me. It's something that I'm attracted to. Not
Yeah.
everybody is. So if
Yeah.
you were to say, okay, well, I want more of that black and gold energy in my life, but I'm not really attracted to that, you kind
Right.
of look for different shades. You look for different ways to find what you're attracted to. Style
Mm.
is so personal. So, what may work for you may not work for somebody else. It needs to look good to you. And that's
Yeah.
really it at the end of the day.
No, I love that. It's so true what you say, working with a designer, because even when beyond my office, when I thought about our own home, I feel like I have an eye for style when it comes to, like, you give me your website, I can revamp and show
Right.
you how to revamp it. I can show you how to start great ideas about fashion and things like that. But I couldn't figure out this interior design thing. Like, I feel like that domestic, I don't know, it just wasn't there. That feminine touch, that domestic, it just was not there when it came to interior design. And I have a close friend who lives very close to us and owns a furniture store. So went to that furniture store and said, I don't know, like, I don't know, something's missing. I need to figure it out. And in like 15 minutes, they came over to the house, she and her business partner, and shifted things around. I was like, oh my goodness. And just like threw in a few accessories, and it was a whole different space.
Yes.
I could not see the shift without them. And so I
Sure.
know that having people like you, like interior designers who have an eye, who understand the rules, like, that's a game changer.
That's so true. It is important. And you want to think about, if you think about feng shui and you think about your space and the energy it holds and how it needs to look,
Yeah.
like, you need to decorate for the woman that you want to be, right? Just like you need to dress for the job that you want, you need to
Yeah.
show up and work, for the job that you want to create, for the business that you want to have. You have to show up your best, your highest level. So when you think about it like that, If you're working out and you want to get a good body, you hire a trainer. If you want a beautiful environment, go and hire someone. There are a lot of people actually that do it virtually. You can have someone help you just for a couple $100 just to give you tips, and how kind of to set up your space. I actually do design feng shui for women businesses. Like I can help you with your like specific workspace and office, but there's plenty of people out there. And it's not a crazy investment to do something like that, but I do think it's one of those things that will up level your work and your business and exactly where you need it to be. And sometimes just one or two shifts that you wouldn't necessarily see could make all the difference in just the energy that you're presenting out there in your business. And all of a sudden, people are attracted to your style, to your decor, to, all of that stuff. And then they're going to be attracted to you and your business. They want the whole package.
Love it. Love it. And it's all about everything being on brand. It's about everything being in alignment. So this is really key. Let me ask you something. What are the must-have rules and tips for selecting accessories in fact, before we go there, a lot of people are at home. So first of all, they may not be able to run and order anything. So before we give them the tips on the accessories, I want to ask you, since we can't go shopping,
yes,
what are some of the things that people can do right now to shift the energy in their home and to really just create a space that inspires and that helps them become more productive?
Well, that's a really difficult one, but I will tell you. So in feng shui, there's this thing that it talks about moving things. So number one, the first thing that you're going to do is declutter. I'm going to tell you, if you begin to look at what you're holding on to in your home and you see piles of things, piling up, if you go and you've got a couple toothpaste rolls, one's maybe not finished, so you're holding on to it and you're still got a new one. There's a lot of things that we collect in doubles. There's a lot of things that we just have and we hold on to. So number one, something that will shift your energy tenfold immediately is beginning to declutter and just getting rid of stacks of paper, going through mail, opening it up, starting to make those small shifts, throwing trash away. So declutter, that's the number one thing. I have this process that I do in feng shui, and it's like declutter, organize, and then we decorate. We cannot get to the decorate part before we do the other parts. The energy won't work. It won't align. The decor will never feel right. It'll feel like looks good, but there's something that's just off. And it's always because you want to have that decluttering part, you want to have that organizational part. Those foundations have to be in place before you actually throw on the feng shui and decorate.
Absolutely.
Then you can also do the 27 things. This is like something I tell my clients. I love the shifts that it will do for you. If you're having a hard time with decluttering and decorating, go touch 27 things around your home. It has to be the number 27 because it's a very lucky number in feng shui. And after you do that, I promise you, you will see something different. Even if you just move something around a little bit, just getting yourself in that energy and that vibe of moving 27 things.
What is with the number 27?
It's auspicious. So it's like 3, 5, 9, and 27 are they make perfect triangles or they make perfect circles or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but it kind of goes in this, it's all ancient Eastern wisdom that it's really difficult to understand, but the way that they scientifically and mathematically like do a circle, there's like 27 different directions or something like that. But that number that is just it holds a very significant, powerful, and complete. If you think of things like a circle, 5 things, there's 5 energies, or like the Holy Trinity, it's 3. These numbers are the numbers of completion, of coming all together, of balance and harmony. So that's kind of the foundation of where they come from, but I can't break down the science for you.
Sure. So I know of this rule of 3 when it comes to accessories. So
Yes.
tell us about that. Maybe that's something people can do like right now. Maybe they have like 5 things on the center table. Like, what should they be looking for as you speak about decluttering? So your desk, your center table of your coffee table at home. What is the rule of 3, or what are some of the rules should we look at when it comes
Sure.
to placing things in those locations?
So 3, again, 3 is like a holy trinity. Now this is where you really want to hire someone who is a feng shui professional, because in some cases, grouping things in 3 don't work well. For
Yeah.
example, in your love life, like in your marriage, in your marriage and love corner, your relationship, you don't really want to have things in sets of 3, because that kind of signifies a third person affecting your relationship. So I've had clients that have had, 3 pillows on their bed, and then what's going on in their life is their mother-in-law is too involved in their marriage. So it's things like that actually really, the energy affects what's going on. So 3 isn't always a good number, but when you're doing something visually, let's say you have 3 objects on your coffee table, having 3, it's like an angular, it just kind of makes sense.
Different levels.
It's more of, yes, it's more of a balanced decorating trick. It's less of a feng shui trick. So you just want to be mindful, but 3 will usually balance things out. Like if you have several things, don't go over 3. If you've got like a couple sculptures or a collection, try to limit it to 3, because it's a visual play on numbers. I tend to really like the number 5, because in feng shui, there's 5 different energies. It's earth, wood, metal, water, and fire. And when I do a workspace or I do any space and we're decorating a vignette, I make sure that there's an element from each of the 5 energies to really play on that complete circle and that complete balance. And that's something you really want to think about too when you're going into your business or going into work. Each like element, the 5 elements, carries a specific energy. Like water is like flow of opportunity, reflection, serenity. Fire is an energy that lights up your manifestations. So one trick that I'll give you guys for your business is, if you want opportunity coming in, you want to manifest your clients, you want to, light up that fire. So I always like to have a candle or a couple candles at my desk right next to me. I mean, I have like right here a candle and matches, and this represents fire. This represents sparking up and lighting up your intentions. And when you light a candle, you can speak an intention into it for like a little spiritual ritual. You can say, today I'm going to, mail out a certain number of emails, or whatever it is that you want to call in new clients or new business ideas. I want to get in creative flow. Set that intention when you light that candle, and allow that intention to burn. Allow the fire energy to bring that manifestation.
Amazing. I love this. These are all really practical tips that you can do right now.
So you can do without buying stuff.
Absolutely. And Ashlina, share with us, what are your 4 to 5 must-haves for creating a productive and blissful office? So we mentioned the candles, which I suppose is one.
So candles is number 1. I actually just recently did a podcast. You guys have to check it out. And I talk about 10 things that your office needs, or that your work from home space needs. So I have 10, but I'll give you, 5. I'll give you a couple to start with right now. And one is candles, that energy. You just light up that fire, light up those intentions. It's really powerful when you begin to do that and make it a habit. Like every morning when you sit down to work, light a candle, say an intention. Don't do anything else before that. Like sit there with that time and really like put that energy into that. I love flowers. I love anything really beautiful and feminine to look at. You want to see something. So whether it's a succulent that you really think is beautiful and you really like, or just beautiful roses, that earthly, like nature energy is really good to combat all the electromagnetic energy going on in your computer and we're always spending time on our computer, we're spending time on our phones, but that real life, the plants, the greenery, you know, the flowers, that the energy that they give off like combats that energy. So it helps you to stay relaxed. It helps you to stay kind of zen and just feeling more in balance. I also am all about like wellness and posture and health. So really cozy, comfortable to work on chair. If you're not in a comfortable chair, you've got to like throw some pillows on it. Sometimes I put
like I have going on.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes I put like a soft, cozy blanket all over the chair. So it just makes it more luxurious, more comfortable. And a part that is not necessarily decor is you've got to set the tone with music. You know, all of your senses are really important, but to have a really good workspace, I have this like really cute speaker that I keep by my office, and I just play music that makes you feel or transports you to somewhere that you really would feel fabulous working in. Like the Plaza Hotel plays the most elegant, classical, beautiful, you know, music. So play something like that, and in an instant you can sort of transport yourself to that magical place that makes you feel amazing to work.
Absolutely. And I do the same. I love, because for me, music ignites a certain type of music. Like I prefer more like lounge music, inspirational stuff.
I like bossa nova.
I listen to, yeah. A composer that I really love. I'm forgetting his name right now. But I'll share it with the rest. But I also listen to like 432 hertz music, which is sort of like exactly like to activate that feminine energy and the creativity and all of that. So so again, the energy of music is something I think is a really great tip, because it really does set the pace. Because in the workday, like especially working from home, well, at least for me, I know that I spend most of the day alone. I'm with clients, okay, on Zoom, on the electronics, but in my physical space, it's just me. And so having that music, it really does create that movement in a way. Like it just feels more alive, as you would say. Yeah.
Well, and that energy, like it does lift you up. It works with the shui in your space. And then there's one like sound, like I'm going to show you something really quick, but I've got these two little bells that I like to keep in my home, and they, you know, you can ring them and they make a little sound, and that sound breaks up the vibration. It breaks up the energy. So if you're feeling stuck, not creative, or just like in a rut, in a mood, you use sound to break the vibration, to shift your energy. So same thing, that's like music too, you know, that can do the same thing. So that's really important too.
Yeah. And so what we're getting here overall, it's all about managing energy at the end of the day. You're creating this space to really create a certain energy. I loved when you talked about decluttering, because you know, it's something also that I've been using some of the time, at least for me, even if I'm always at home, with the whole energy of the COVID-19, there's just like this vacuum of time, like everything is closed and you're like literally home, right? And so, you know, one of my favorite things to do is to go through and say, okay, this is not my frequency anymore. And really like checking through stuff to see if it's energetically aligned with who I'm becoming, who I want to be, how I want to show up in the world. And it's a constant work in progress. But I really enjoy that decluttering aspect for sure.
Yes. No, you're right.
Yeah. Ashlina, because I mean, as an interior designer, obviously you might have some like favorite go-to places for beautiful things, beautiful, feminine, gorgeous accessories and things like that. What are your go-to places?
That's a really good question. You know, I really love restoration hardware. I will tell you, they've done a really good job at like creating mass things. Great couches and plush seating and really large furniture. So I really, really love what they do. But honestly, one of my favorite things to do is to go like hunting, antique shopping. I love when I travel. I love to look for art. I really love to go find, random things that have a story to them that kind of bring a fun energy. But I will tell you, right now, I find everyone's having to shop online, right? Like they're having to go find things. So actually, Amazon does an okay job at a lot of really cute, maybe it's not the best quality, but it's pretty good quality stuff. And they deliver it right to your door. So for things like new dining chairs or just a quick little table or a desk or to just throw in some cute accents, honestly, I think Amazon is doing a really good job.
Amazing. So you mentioned something that caught my attention, like Restoration Hardware has all of these large pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a preference? What is the difference? Because I have an interior design friend, Kathy. I think she's here with us, and she always says, "When in doubt, go big."
When in doubt, go big.
Go big. Yes.
Yes. Especially in art, in seating, because you want it to be really comfortable. I think that right now people are loving like a more minimal space, but using bigger pieces. So maybe like less, pieces overall, but really big, impactful ones. So I do really agree with her. Go big or go home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have some comments. So we have people saying, loving this. Oh, we have Daria there. Wonderful. So great. I don't see any questions. Oh, so I see somebody said Wayfair. They asked about Wayfair.
Oh, Wayfair is good too. Wayfair and Jocelyn Main are also really good ones, but they also kind of are sold through Amazon. Some of you can get the same things. And Amazon does free delivery. So I do love, you can search things on Wayfair and Jocelyn Main and see if it's on Amazon, if you can get free delivery.
And we know that your website is a great place to get inspired. So
Ashlina, I have a ton of resources.
Thank you. Absolutely. Where else can we go to find inspiration on creating that beautiful space as well?
Honestly, I have to tell you, Pinterest has become my favorite lately. And if you go to my site, there's a link for Pinterest, and on my Pinterest board, I pretty much have design in every style and every taste. And I have a specific board actually for chic home offices.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to check that out. That can be like a really good source of inspiration for you. But Pinterest, will show you other things. It'll also show you really great places where you can buy those things that you really like visually. Pinterest is doing a really good job about directing people in the right way.
Amazing. Love it. These have been such amazing tips. One more question, Ashlina, before we wrap up today. I know that we spoke about the preference of colors, and what should people know about colors? Because we're both gold and black, and I love a hint of red to give that pop. But in terms of, just in general, are there any rules that we should know in terms of, especially for the office, colors that maybe we want to stay away from for our office, anything that could be helpful along the lines of color decor?
Absolutely. Honestly, I personally have always felt like there's no rules about anything, especially when it comes to color, because what is attractive for you is what works for you and what makes you happy. So, and every color has a specific energy. So like red is a great color for fame and recognition and fun. Orange is a really good color for universal energy. It's for like the soul, the spirit. There's an energy associated with every color, and nothing is really bad. Nothing really is that negative that you don't want it. There's just things that you tend to be attracted to and things that you're just not really attracted to. So stay away from colors that you don't like. Don't believe the rules. Like, go for what you like.
That's what I want, because I know someone who, like, I know people who, because it's not feng shui to have a certain color in the power center or whatever, they live with those colors because they want to do what is right based on the rules. Oh my
Right.
gosh, I have a little one. You know, it's like the thing of working from home. I think Chloe is looking for
So
some attention
cute.
here.
Oh, hi,
Okay.
cutie. Yeah,
So yeah, so
it's a good question because this is something that this is why I created my business and why I believe in feng shui so much, because there are people out there. I've seen
yeah.
people hire, like clients of mine, interior design clients would hire me to come over and they're like, my feng shui person like messed up my whole place. I hate it.
Oh
And that's,
no.
it has happened a lot. And that's why you have to, like, I had to create and sit down and look at it from like a modern perspective. And just because you need green in this color, in this like corner, doesn't mean you have to go paint your walls green if you hate the color green, right? You can bring in
Yeah.
a plant, you can bring in, you know, flowers with green stems. It doesn't have to be so literal. And I think there must have been a whole generation of people who learned feng shui and weren't modern with it. You know, they didn't take the
Yes.
design, they didn't understand, you know, beauty and design, and then what you like.
Mhm.
So if there's a shade of green that you like more than another, then you can use that. Or if you don't like green
Absolutely.
at all, like I said, again, find something that kind of represents that color in a different way, like plants. That's why I
I
believe,
agree.
I don't think there's rules for color. I think what makes you happy, you know, what
Yeah.
you like, what you're attracted to, that's the most important thing when it comes to design, especially in your office space. But there is something where you have to hire a feng shui person to show you exactly where things go. But whatever room your space is in, there's a color energy that can enhance it for better, right?
Yeah.
So in the workspace, typically, you know, gold is a really good color, but some, because it's like the color of money and success, but some people could say like,
Sure.
I hate gold. So you can find like things like this. Like I have a pair of gold scissors on my desk.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
have my desk slathered in gold.
Yes.
So you don't have to have rules hard and set like that, or do anything that you don't think is beautiful and you don't love.
I totally agree with this. And I love that you're saying that, you know, it's about interpretation of
Yes,
ancient practice
that's right.
and really taking it up to a way that it fits in a way that you love. Because for me, like, okay, I've seen some of the art that Feng Shui might say is good for the bedroom. I'm like, I don't like that art. I mean, if I look at it, I'll feel more depressed, you know? So yourself and seeing how can you bring in the elements without sacrificing your sense of style.
That's right. And what you find to be beautiful, you know,
Yeah.
that's, you need to have the things that make you feel happy, make you feel alive, make you feel blissful. And you don't have to play by somebody's rules. You just use
Yeah.
an energetic, intuitive sense and guide to help
Yes.
you.
Amazing. And Ashlina, just some final words. You have a book called Blissful Living,
Yes.
and
And
that's
a
on Amazon.
second follow up, the Blissful Living Journal, which is really good because I think,
Yes.
you know, a lot of times when we're not clear about, let's say, how we want to decorate a space or our vision of what we want to manifest or different things,
Yeah.
you have to dig deeper and really
Yeah.
get clear on those things before you'll see anything really manifest for you. So I think
Absolutely.
journaling is very, very important.
Totally.
And then,
Totally.
you know, really living your best life. And that looks like the
Yes.
small details. So the
Yeah.
makeup that you wear and the lotion
Yeah.
you put on, the coffee mug. You know, I drink my water out of like a wine, you know, glass with a beautiful gold rim because I love like vintage glassware, and you can eat
Exactly.
on beautiful plates, and those
Yes.
little shifts that you do really elevate your everyday and get you in
Yeah.
that like blissful state where then the
Yes.
things that you want, it just
Yeah.
flows to you, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, as you said, it's all about tapping into what feels good, what makes you feel alive.
Yes.
And, you know, I always get this joke, and everyone always laughs when I say this, that whenever, just switching a little bit to fashion, whenever we
Uh-huh.
are invited to my partner's friend's house, they'll always send a memo saying, tell Hannah it's casual.
But you
And
don't
I'm
have to
like,
play by those rules.
but I don't have to play, you know, like your casual is not my casual. But the point is, I'm not dressing up for anybody but myself, and to bring in the energy that I want to tap into in the moment and
Yes,
how I want to feel, you know? So,
absolutely.
so I
I
think it's
get
all
that.
about honoring that and knowing how you want to show up.
Yes. I mean, I
Absolutely.
couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly. It's like dress for the life that you want, dress for the woman you
Totally.
want to be, decorate for her, show up
Yes.
as her fully, and then you'll
Yes,
be there.
absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. Amazing pearls of wisdom, Ashlina. Any
Thank
final thoughts that you
you.
want to leave with our listeners before we leave?
Honestly, just remember to tune into yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to your
Yeah.
wisdom, and go with what feels right for you. Again, like if it's
Yeah.
dressing up, if it's how you're decorating and showing up, remember that you deserve your dreams, you deserve the life that you
Yes.
want, and it's just a couple small blissful shifts away.
Love it. Love it. You deserve the best, ladies. Remember that.
You
And as
too.
always, and as always, live the cultured life. Go check out Ashlina's Pinterest and her website, where you can get more resources on how to create a home and a home office that you truly love. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being here.
Thank
We'll be going
you.
through the comments. I see lots of you have commented here today. So we'll be going through and saying a quick hello. Kathy, thank you for joining. Next time I want you here with us. Kathy is an amazing designer as well from St. Lucia, and she also lives in New
Oh,
York.
wow. Hi.
And we have other people here who've just commented and asked some questions. So we'll go through after and say hello. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
You
Ciao,
too.
ladies.
Bye bye.
Bye.